if you recognize that riff, it is Far Behind by Candlebox. Sort of had a student request this recently because Candlebox was in town here in Detroit for something called Riff Fest. And I was like, we got to play this song. And I've been sharing it with students all week long. I even had a student yesterday a teenage student who sent me an email and said, dude, I played this song for my mom. She immediately got on the phone, called her best friend, and started bragging how I knew how to play this guitar riff. I remember learning this when I was a teenager and thinking, okay, I know songs that are chord-based, I know power chord riffs, but this was the first time that I actually took a song that was based out of just open chords, but had a cool lick and riff to it, and I loved playing this, so hopefully you'll love playing it too. So we'll break down how to play it, what the chords are, how to play the actual riff, and then we'll do some play-alongs at slower tempos and at full tempo. Alright, so the song is based around a G chord, to an E minor, to a D, and then a C add 9. So for the G chord, we're going to do the rock and roll version of the G chord, which is playing the middle finger on the third string of string 6 to get me that root G. It's major third at the second fret of string 5, that's a B note. Then my next two strings, the perfect fifth is D. That's the fourth string open. Third string open is another G. Then I'm going to use my ring finger to play the third fret of string 2 for another D note, and the pinky to play the third fret of string 1 for another G note. So going from ceiling to ground, that's frets 3, 2, open, open, 3, 3. Just like that. Switch that to an E minor. You can use any combination of fingers here. You can just keep that index finger where it's at on fret 2 of string 5 and move the middle finger over to the second fret of string 4, leaving all the other strings open. So open, 2, 2, open, open, open. Or traditionally most people grab it with the middle and the ring finger on those same frets. I'll probably tend to grab it that way, just out of force of habit. Then the D chord, 4-string chord, open 4th string, string 3 at the second fret with the first finger, string 2 at the third fret with the ring finger, and string 1 at the second fret with the middle finger. And then the C add 9 chord. So from that D chord, I can keep my ring finger on the third fret D note of string 2 and just take the middle finger from string 1 at fret 2 and move it over to the third fret of string 5 for a C bass note. Take that index finger that was already on the second fret of string 3 and just move it one string towards the ceiling to the second fret of string 4, which is going to give me an E note or a major third of this root C. Play 5 strings in this one. And by C add 9, it's just a C chord, but you're adding a D note to it, which is the 9th note of the C scale. It's also the 2nd note of the scale. 9th is just an octave above a 2nd. Alright, so the chord is, or the progression again is just G, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, C add 9. Pretty much throughout most of the song, it is just that. There's power chords in the distorted chorus, and there's one turnaround that's slightly different. And then at the end of the song, you throw in the Jimi Hendrix chord, and it's a lot of just G's to E minors by the end of the song. But we're going to cover just the main riff today. Alright, so that main riff that goes over the G chord is played off the open G string. So the first 3 chords, we're going to use open notes to kind of anchor the riff. And then I'm going to place on string 2, I'm going to play fret 10. I'm just going to do this with my first finger. I'm going to focus right now just on playing those notes on string 2. So I'm going to play 10th fret. Then I'm going to do a 10 and slide to fret 12. Key with sliding is look where you want to stop and maintain contact with the string and the fretboard as you slide up, and then we go back to fret 10. So it's 10, 10 slide to 12, and back to 10. Now before every single one of those, I'm going to put in an open G note. So that's open string 3. wise, that is like 1, 2, and a 3, and 4. 1, 2, and a 3, and 4. So practice that one up. Then we go to the E minor. For the E minor chord, I'm just going to hit the open 6th string, get a nice deep sound. I'm going to do some double stops. Double stops are playing 2 notes in harmony, so 2 notes at the same time. And here I'm going to play the 12th fret of strings 3 and 2, which is part of the E minor chord already. Then I'm going to walk that down to the 10th fret of string 3 and the 11th fret of string 3 and the 10th fret of string 2. Rhythm for that is going to go 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. You can do several combinations of fingers here. I tend to use ring and pinky on the 12th fret, and then the middle finger on fret 11 and the index finger on fret 10. So that way I just peel these off, but you can do any combination. You can do middle and ring here, slide it back, and do middle and index, however you want to do it. As long as you get those notes. And I think that sometimes it varies in this part, but usually these 2 parts are pretty consistent. When you get to the D chord, this one, I'm going to basically arpeggiate the D chord. Arpeggiate is just a fancy way of saying, hey, hold the chord and play individual notes out of it. So I'm going to play string 4, and then play strings 1, 2, 3. Rhythm wise, it's going to be 1, a 2, and 1, a 2, and then for the Cadd9 chord, before the 1 beat, I'm going to walk up. So the 4 beat of the D chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1. I'm going to walk into my C root note by playing the open 5th string, that's A, to the 2nd fret of that string, B, walking me into my C root note, 4, and a 1. And then I'm going to speak this out as and a 1, a 2, and here I'm just arpeggiating the chord by playing down. Down strokes from strings 5, 4, 3, 2, and then I'm going to turn it around and do an up stroke on string 1 to 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Strings 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 while holding the full Cadd9 chord. So we got the G chord, E minor with the double stops, D chord, arpeggiate, walk into the C, and arpeggiate. Alright, and the song is probably about 90 beats per minute. There are some variations, especially to that Cadd9 chord throughout, as to how he picks it, and sometimes he strums into it and doesn't do the walk-in, but this will get you in the ballpark of how to play it. So the song is probably about 90 beats per minute, so I'm going to do a play along at, I don't know, 75, just to get you comfortable playing this. Here we go. So it was 3 times in a row. Go back, keep practicing it, because then the next goal is to loop it. Not just to play it once, but how to get back to that G chord after you play the Cadd9. And then I'm going to play it at full tempo, which is about 90 beats per minute. 2, ready, go. So I hope you had fun with this. I know this video was a little bit longer, but I want to explain the chords behind it, and then of course how to play the riff itself. Alright, if you enjoyed this, check out some more of the videos. Come see me for some more. Subscribe, like, leave some comments with some requests. Hit me up if you want information on private, one-on-one instruction. But until next time, have fun.